Ben, we will start with you. Your first game was just under 30 minutes with a lot of side outs and counter attacks from James and Anna. Were you expecting them to come out that hot?
Yeah, I think it wasn't so much that either team was playing really hot exactly. It was more that I think both teams were having some difficulties with their third shot drops. James covers a lot of court and takes a lot of balls out of the air and finishes a lot. So he hits a great fourth ball, so it's tougher to get in on him, and I think we supply that same thing. So it was a long game, I think, primarily because good fourth shots and subpar third shots on both sides.
And AL, you mentioned in your sideline interview about the deformed ball. What is both of your opinions on the deformation rule? Obviously, it went in your favor in this match.
Yeah, even though it went in our favor, it hasn't in the past. And I think even if it went in our favor every time, I'd still say this. It's like, if you can do that to a ball, I think, it should just be over. They should get the point. But because there was a rule, we challenged it. If there wasn't a rule, I don't think we'd be too upset about it. And Ben has a good point, and I'll let him say it because I don't want to mess up his words. But I like what he says with this.
Yeah, so there's two scenarios basically. You can indent the ball, which if it indents, it usually won't bounce, or if it cracks, that often will cause no bounce as well, and that makes it hard to play on the ball. But one, kind of like Annalise said, if you hit it hard enough for that to happen, good on you. To me, it's kind of like a broken string in tennis. Like, players have to play through that. They don't go, oh, broken string, So I just feel like as long as we can take out subjectivity for calls for referees, that's always a great thing. And it's something that the refs have to, see. Then they have to make, after a challenge, they got to determine what is that line of how playable was it. And whenever you have something as gray area as how playable was the ball based on did it deform or not, I just think it just gets very wishy-washy, so I like to take out any subjectivity in calls, so I would just abandon that rule altogether and say you play the ball as is always.
And AL, I was on the other side of the court, but how did you recognize that ball was deformed?
It was weird. Like, when I saw it bounce, when I saw it hit the ground, I saw it squish. Afterwards it bounced, but as soon as it bounced, I was like, did anybody see that? I don't know. I was just really watching the ball because when James hits it hard like that, you kind of have to take it off the bounce so it doesn't go off court. So I was kind of running towards it, trying to take it off the bounce, and it I could see, if this is the ball, I could see it squish, and I was like, there it is.
It's not just the sight of it because when that happens by seeing it, but more actually applicable to the match is how it plays off the ground.
Yeah.
Which it basically doesn't bounce at all. It almost rolls off the bounce. I'd say it bounced less than half the height of a normal open
I'm good
bounce.
at finding things, though. When Riley hit it through the post in the net, I saw it, and I saw this.
Yeah.
My glasses are doing what they're supposed to do.
For the record, we want to get rid of that rule.
Yeah, we do want to get rid of the rule.
So, Ben, I noticed you had PT tape on your back. What is that for?
Trade secrets. That's not an injury. We'll say that.
Some kind of voodoo.
AL, there were a lot of lobs that came from Anna in this match. Do you think that was on purpose, or was it just to defend the point?
It was definitely on purpose because the higher it is, I feel like the harder it is to hit an overhead. When we played J-Dub and Catherine in Vegas, J-Dub was doing the same thing. He was lobbing super high balls, but then he hasn't done it since. So it's it was interesting. I don't know if she'll ever do it again, but I feel because Ben's overheads, he was just putting them away when they were perfect, but the higher it is, the harder it is to time. So I feel like she was just kind of throwing them up in hopes that he would do something, shank it or whiff it or something like that. But I think we won almost every point she did that still. I lost one of them, but I think we won most.
And last question is for you, Ben. So you're going for your 100th gold. Which event would you want your 100th gold to be in?
That's an interesting question. I hadn't thought about that. Oh, it was Mama Water's question. That makes sense. Always comes in with the good questions.
Pretend I'm not here.
Yeah, I guess I'd go maybe with singles.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it seems to make the most sense to me.
How much of a milestone is it for you? Do you feel anything, or is it kind of just another day?
I feel like in pickleball, where a lot of players are constantly breaking records and doing stuff because the sport is so new. So, it's a cool number and all, but, let's make more records. let's keep
get
going.
to 200, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to 200.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.